What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. If you want to see the daily Ravens content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell as well if you want to get notified every single time I upload a brand new video. Now, there is some Baltimore Ravens news today, and it's about wide receiver Devon Williams. If you don't know who wide receiver Devon Williams is, he's a 6'5" wide receiver out of the University of Oregon. He ended up going undrafted and signed to the Baltimore Ravens. Well, yesterday was the first day that players, the rookies for the Baltimore Ravens reported to training camp. The veterans and such will be returning to training camp at a later date, but the rookies were supposed to show up. That includes undrafted rookies. Well, Devon Williams did not show up, and he has just been placed on the did not report list. Now, this is something that is very interesting to keep an eye out for. Now, when you're looking at the Baltimore Ravens roster, wide receiver is the position, especially on offense, that brings up the most questions because we don't really know exactly what's going to happen this year with the wide receivers. We understand that Rashad Bateman is wide receiver 1. That is the only thing that we know. Is Duvernay number 2? Is Wallace number 2? Is Prochet number 2? Who's the slot wide receiver? Who's the deep threat? All of those are unknowns. There's a lot of possibilities. Now, am I saying the wide receiver core is horrible? No. I'm just saying that it's up in the air on where things are. So, with the undrafted wide receivers that the Ravens brought in, and they brought in a lot, many people were questioning, would any of them be able to make the team? And guys, there's a lot of undrafted wide receivers, but one of the most brought up, probably the most brought up guy, maybe outside of Shamar Bridges, was Devon Williams out of Oregon, because he brings the size and speed to be the wide receiver that a lot of people are saying that the Ravens have been in need of. They have needed a big body, athletic wide receiver that can get those jump balls. I've been one of the people saying that. I have been saying the Ravens need a jump ball player. Well, Devon Williams was thought to potentially be that guy. And he was in that wide receiver battle for the back end of that roster. Because if you look at the Ravens wide receivers, we have 1, Rashad Bateman, 2, Devin Duvernay, 3, Tylan Wallace, 4, James Prochet. Those players are all making the roster. All right? Like guaranteed. Barring anything else. But then there's the question marks, right? Because there are a ton of players that are fighting for those other spots. We have a guy who I thought could have made and should have made the team last year in Benjamin Victor, number 5. We have Jalen Moore, who had a chance at making the roster, number 6. We've got Slade Bolden, a potential slot wide receiver at the University of Alabama. We've got Mekhi Polk. We have Trayvon Clark. Like I brought up, Shamar Bridges. There are a lot of people fighting for this roster spot. And without Devon Williams, that really, really closes the window, or I guess opens up the competition for the other players to go get that big-bodied wide receiver. Now, right now, I think Benjamin Victor has a clear lead on what he can end up doing, for the Baltimore Ravens, because he is 6'4", and he showed last year in training camp and in preseason that he can play. Like, he was competing with Miles Boykin to get that roster spot. Like, it was a legitimate competition. And there are other players, that have a chance. Mekhi Polk has good size. I'm a fan of him. But overall, the wide receiver spot, the big-bodied wide receiver spot, is now coming down to only a couple of people. Benjamin Victor's the biggest one. Mekhi Polk has potential. Trayvon Clark, he's got good size. He's 6'3". Shamar Bridges, 6'4". Shamar Bridges or Benjamin Victor. I think those are the real, true big body wide receivers that are available for the Baltimore Ravens rather than it being 3. And so I think that's really interesting to look at. Will the Ravens go with a big body? And if so, who will it be? Because I doubt Devon Williams. Now, there's a chance that something happened. And if something happened that we don't know about, obviously, I hope everything is okay with Devon Williams. I'm not trying to call him out for anything. And if he got a contract offer from another team and took it, that's all right as well. Like, you know what? When you're an undrafted player, you got to do anything in your power, anything and everything in your power to be able to get onto that roster spot. But we'll see what the Ravens end up doing. We'll see what Devon Williams ends up doing. But overall, this is a good opportunity for Shamar Bridges and Benjamin Victor, two players that I really like going into this offseason as with chances to make the team as that big body wide receiver. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comment section down below about this incident. I was like just getting ready to make a video, and then this news came out. So I was like, hey, why don't I talk about that? Thank you, everybody, for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content, and I'll see all of you again tomorrow.